Hi everyone, welcome to Halo Zone. My name is Lead Assassin, and today I'm here to talk to you guys about the new Breakout game type. Now, for those of you who don't know, they brought Breakout back as a ranked playlist with a bunch of changes that definitely changes how the game type plays, and I kind of want to just go over those changes and give my thoughts as to how I feel about these changes. Because some of them to me definitely change how the game type works, and I can kind of see why they did it, but overall, I'm not really sure if it was really a needed change. Now first off, let me say I don't know how the Breakout playlist population numbers have been doing, so I don't know if they felt that this playlist needed a revamp due to that, or if they kind of decided to change it due to the success of Arena Breakout, which was the full shields, basically kind of like Slayer, but in rounds. You know, it played on the normal maps. So I'm not sure if that game type's popularity when it was the weekend playlist kind of made them do this, or gave them the idea to go in this direction, but I could definitely see an influence from it. Now, when you go into the new Breakout, here are some of the main things you're going to notice different, and I'm going to break it down how I feel about it. First off, there's radar. Now, I don't remember old Breakout if there was or not. I'm pretty sure there was radar in old Breakout. However, with the new starting weapons, I do feel radar is not optimal. Then again, I'm also a fan of no radar Halo, so that's just a little bit of a bias in my opinion. So, you know, I'm always going to go more toward the no radar game types, and I definitely think Breakout would be much better for that. Another thing you're going to notice is the fact that the starting weapons have changed. You no longer have the pistol and the SMG, you now have the pistol and the shotgun. Like I said, with radar and shotgun, it definitely leads to being campy at times. Especially with no one of the changes they made to the game. Another big change, one that I kind of brought up the Arena Breakout because, is that we now have shields. So before it was this hyper lethal, no shields game type. Well, now there's shields. I don't know if that was to compensate for giving you the shotgun. I'm not quite sure why they decided to give us shields, but it definitely was an interesting change. Now, as I mentioned, the shotguns are a starting weapon, and that with radar really complicates the last change they made. And that is the neutral flag is not brought to your opponent's side of the map now, it's brought back to yours. This has caused quite a bit of confusion while I've been playing with myself, because I didn't know that, and my teammates sure as hell didn't know that sometimes, because we brought right to their flag and they were more than happy to kill us and cap it, and we had no idea what the hell was happening, at least for the first match. You could definitely tell as you played who had played a few matches of this and who was this is their first match in their placement, because everybody was confused. Now, with this change, this is where I feel shotguns really affect it. Because now if you have one guy grab the flag and run back, you could have your team sitting there behind corners with shotguns, just poking out and killing the enemy team. However, I could also see this being a problem where if you had to go to the other side of the enemy, in the enemy's base and capture their flag, well, they could just sit behind cover, wait for you with shotguns anyway. So, I don't know. I feel like having a shotgun as a starting weapon is just not optimal. I really feel like just starting with a pistol might be the better bet in this. And I'm going to use this time to maybe just go and do my own kind of campaign for a weapon to be brought back in Halo 5. Because I feel it would be great with this game type. And that is the Halo Reach grenade launcher. Due to the way these maps are set up, due to how there's plenty of surfaces to bank shots off of, I feel like the grenade launcher would be a great weapon to have in this game type. Maybe a bit too powerful to be a secondary weapon, but I can see that being the primary power weapon for all Breakout maps. As it stands, I think the Hydra launcher is a bit much for Breakout. I think the shotgun's a bit much for Breakout, but I do like the plasma caster for breakout matches because the projectiles can bounce around corners and you can have some really cool and fun shots, much like the grenade launcher. So I do feel that when it comes to breakout, adding that to the game means you can have half the maps have plasma caster, half the maps have grenade launcher. They're somewhat functionally the same, but they do work differently because you can delay the grenade launcher by holding it in, and there's a whole bunch of different things you can do with both these weapons. And I do think, like I said, taking out stuff like the Hydra launcher and the shotgun out of Breakout would be better because, I don't know, it doesn't seem to fit. All in all, like I said, I can definitely tell where they got the Arena Breakout influence. They definitely went and saw how that was popular and decided to add that into normal Breakout. But in my opinion, I just don't think it works that well. I liked that kind of Breakout on normal maps as a weekend playlist, and that was fine. But this hybrid of what Breakout was, to having shields and shotguns to start, and radar, which kind of slows it down the gameplay as well. I don't know, it just feels kind of weird. So, overall, gotta say, I'm not too impressed with the new Breakout. But, again, that's just me, so let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about the new Breakout. I'm definitely interested to see what other people think. Do you guys think my grenade launcher idea is, a good idea? Or is that just me just kind of being a little bit crazy and hoping that weapon would come back in some capacity? And to be honest, I actually made a video about that weapon being in Breakout right after the Halo 5 beta, because I saw the potential it had in there. And I really, like many people, hoped we'd get that weapon back in Members of Reach. And who knows, maybe we will still see it in the game, but overall, those are my impressions. That's my kind of aside and rant and his campaign to bring the weapon back. Let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about those questions I had. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this kind of content and all the other great content the other content creators on here make, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, let us know that you guys are enjoying this. Thank you guys so much, as always, for watching, and I'll talk to you later.